Welcome to Rendering Insights. In this video, we're going to be drawing a 1950 Ford Custom. It'll be fun. It's already going to be chopped and slammed, and it'll be a cool little cruiser. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe below. That'd be great. All right, this is the drawing we're going to be doing. Old school custom cruiser, just the way I like them. We're going to be doing our line work in Adobe Illustrator and then bringing those lines into Photoshop and stacking our color on there. All right, let's do it. Okay, here we are in Adobe Illustrator. What I had done, I looked online and I found a photograph of a little shoebox Ford, a 50 in this case, that I liked. It had the right perspective, this 3/4 front, it's great. And had the right amount of chop, which is nice for a change, so I don't have to cut it up on my drawing and do it myself. I did change the roof line a little bit, and we did slam it. We lowered this thing all the way to the ground. Stock skirts, but you can see how low this is, just the way an old school custom should be. So again, with our pen tool, we went ahead and drew out all these critical lines of the body. Now on a separate layer, went ahead and drew in some headlight lines and a lot of the horizon lines on our chrome. Okay, see what we did in here? A lot of times we'll wait and do this in Photoshop, but in this case, it's a little harsher drawing. Colors are going to be real vivid and bold. Went ahead and drew in some kind of goofy horizon lines on here now. Almost looks like grease smears, but it'll look better. And on these headlights, we have these ridges in this glass and little horizon lines on all these chrome bezels and on these bumpers. Anyway, and we'll drop in our blues on the sky reflection and our warm tones down below, reflecting the ground once we're in Photoshop. The only other things we did was, let's put up a little peep mirror over here for the driver. It's period correct. And then down here, let's put in some really cool Cadillac sombrero caps with some big fat bullets on them. See how low this car is? Yeah, I just wanted something old school, slammed and cool. So really the only thing missing now, we want to put some scallops on this car. Classic custom cruiser style scallops. So here you go. There's a lot of ways you can do these, but this is how I like them. Down the roof, down the side of the car, and certainly just blast it over the hood. All right, there are all of our basic lines in Illustrator. Now we'll bring those into Photoshop and put some color on it. All right, we have our line work here in Photoshop. Now the first thing we're going to do is make 5 copies of this layer. So over on the right, drag it down to the little plus sign. Let's make 5 copies. All right, on the very bottom one, number 1 of this line layer, we're going to go ahead and do a white fill. Now, a lot of these panels where the paint is on the car, we're going to fill with the base color, so we're going to cover it up. But where all the chrome is in the glass, we're going to use some of that white showing through. So it's a good idea to put a white fill in here to start with on this bottom layer. So when we do have a background dropped in here, it's not going to cause any problems for us. Okay. Now on our second layer, number 2, we're going to open it up and drop in all of our base colors. So here to start with, we went ahead and put all of our shadows in, and it's just straight black. See that? Inside that grille and under the car and tires and so forth. And our paint color in here, in this case, we're doing this kind of persimmon red, so we have this base color that when we add shadow to it, it'll look pretty good. It'll get better. And this base gold color for all of our scallops. All right, and that gives us a good, almost coloring book foundation for building our little rendering here. All right, in line layer number 3, we're going to open up the next one and we're going to do a little bit of work on this chrome and glass on this layer. Okay, because we had dropped in these little horizons in Illustrator that run end to end here, it isolates these areas. So it's real easy to grab your magic wand tool, select this area only. Okay, remember it's just a little white panel in there. And with your paintbrush tool, blue, get in here real small and just start brushing in here till you get a reflection of the sky. I like to not fill in too much, leave a little bit of white up there. It just feels a little better. And then select this panel down below and grab a warm color, a tan for the ground reflection. Brush that in and then grab black and just brush a little bit down here. Okay, and treat each one of these sections the same way. Even these headlight rings. Selected this top section right in here, just a little bit of blue. Most of this is white. I didn't do any color out here at all. And down below, a little tan and pretty, a little bit of black. It's pretty dark down here because it's going to be in the shadow. Okay, and like look at these hubcaps. It's actually pretty simple. You know, one section at a time. You get in here and select this with the magic wand tool, grab your blue, and just brush this in. A little darker over here because it's going to be a little bit of a shadow coming up inside the wheel over here, and then brushing out light like this bullet cap, almost like a sky hotspot right here, and just let that fade out a little bit. Down here, this one section, grab it, brushed in some tan, a little bit of black. Selected this one, tan, just a little bit of black. Just treat each one of those that way. And little by little, it starts to come together. You know, each layer or each section itself isn't too much going on. It's not too impressive, but you step back and look at all of it together, and it's not too bad. All right, treat the mirror and the rear bumper, all these panels the same way. On the windshield, is all we did was select these two panels at the same time. Get in here. I did a real light blue pass first and kind of brushed this in here, and then went right on top of it with some black, real light, and just brushed on top of this. Being careful not to cover up our white out here because you need that for your reflection, okay? So you just take a look at your photograph or your car or whatever reference you're using and just see what it looks like. Copy it, make it up as you go. I don't know, just have fun with it. All right, on our next line layer, number 4, we're going to open that up and start doing some shading down the side of the car. So what I did here was just select with that magic wand tool, this front fender, the door, and this rear. And with that paintbrush tool, real white with some black, just brushed across here, little by little, real lightly, because there isn't a hard line here, so we need to be real careful so that blends. All right, and in here, we know there's going to be a little bit of a shadow underneath this headlight, so a little bit there. All right, and then right at the top, did a little bit there, and then grabbed a little bit of white, just put a little bit of highlight on top of that line. I know that line right there's not super cool, but we got it, so there you go. And then section by section, selecting it and treating it the same way. So after we did the side of the car, we're going to grab the magic wand tool, select for this skirt with that black backed off the same, just lightly brush this so it matches what we've done on the side of the car. And then at the top, with a light kind of a blue-gray color, I just brushed in a little bit of highlight up there, just so you can see there's some shape there. All right, and the same with the hood. You select this in 1, see this section comes around, and there's a line there, 2, 3 sections, so you highlight all 3 of these with that magic wand, then brush with that black real lightly across here where it's a little bit darker, but you don't touch anything up here because this is a highlight area. And then do you remember that kind of blue-gray color we did? That's what I used on top here. So it has a little different reflection, maybe picking up something from the glass. I don't know. And over here, this right front fender, treating it the same, selecting this section only, and with that black, very carefully brushing in here, brushing in this recess in here, and then with the white, just a little bit of highlight in here, so it looks like the other fender a little bit. And little by little, you treat each section the same way. The roof the same, you know, this tail light housing, all that. So just have fun with it, and little by little render your drawing out. Now, one of the things I wanted to do on this layer number 5, I didn't do anything in the car as much as I wanted to put a little glow around it. So this is what I did. Photoshop gives you some kind of fun options. So I picked that glow just so, I don't know, it creates a little interest. And then when this is sitting on the background that we're going to put behind here, it helps the car to stand out a little bit. All right. Now on our last line layer, we're going to do a couple things. A lot of times when we do these color fills and touch up, because we get in these tight areas like on these scallops where the paint bucket tool will not get in here real tight. So I'll grab my paintbrush tool and go really down to like 3 or 4 really small and get in here and brush in these tips. And I never worry about getting on top of the black. See that? It looks a little sloppy, like I can't stay in the lines. Because I usually try to save a line layer to put on top of that, and it covers everything up. See what that does? It just tightens your whole drawing up. And in the same layer, I went ahead and did a little bit of hot spot highlights with your paintbrush tool, a little bit of white. Just got in here and just picked some highlights on your chrome. It's just those little details that help make your drawing come alive a little bit. Your car should be clean, right? All right, well, there is our basic car drawing. Now, for the background, a little while back, our car club had done a photo shoot, and I had taken this picture and saved it as like a sepia tone and brought that in. All right, I like the shot, but it's so harsh and so dark that it just fights with our drawing crazy. So on a next layer on top of that, I opened that up and grabbed that block tool and some white and drew a box over the top of this background layer, but behind the car, and then back the opacity off to about 20%. And this is what it did. It just knocked that photo right down so it's not so strong. That's so annoying. Okay. I thought, well, that looks pretty good, but these edges are still kind of bright for me. So on another layer, I grabbed the paintbrush tool and some black and opened it up, just massive, and brushed in just a little bit of toner around the outside. See that? Kind of gave it a, I don't know, antique-y look or something. Kind of weird. All right. Well, there you have it. There is a quick look on how to render a 1950 shoebox Ford Custom. Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful in any way, please check out our other videos available on Rendering Insights.